Hello, Apps here from Dimp Digital. Welcome to Idle Game Chat. On this edition, I'm joined by Tom Adkins, not Ed Cock. How's it going?
I am super. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yes, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. We are here, Adkins, to discuss something so it's become very important in the gaming calendar. What are we here to discuss tonight on this lovely Friday evening?
On this Friday evening, we are here to even examine inch by inch the
God.
Winter E3. That's what we've been calling it.
Well,
That is Geoff Keighley's The Game Awards.
we are indeed. 2018. This is the 5th year that it's been running. I was like, cool, already? For some reason, I thought it was like 3 years old, but 5 years.
That Angry Joe show,
Yeah.
where he's like having a go. That was about the Game Awards, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. It might have been, actually. I think it might well have been the first Game Awards because there was no PC category.
Oh, that's right. He was kicking off, wasn't he?
And still looking at it,
Stuck him in his face.
there's not a lot of Master Race
No, right there.
in there. But then I kind of look at, especially the last 12 months, I think what's come out on Master Race that hasn't.
No.
It's not, and if you look at some of the nominees, you know, there's exclusives for PlayStation on there and console exclusives as well that haven't even been on PC. So if you're Master Race only, and we've both got rigs that are capable of playing these games, there's not been really a great deal to play. So
Yeah.
you know, unless you've got your WoWs and whatnot, but you know, we're probably underserving it. But a lot of the stuff seems to be strategy games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned the Winter E3 and people are going, hang on a minute, how's that in a Winter E3 when it's a Game Awards? Well, if you haven't seen it, it's actually a lot of reveals, trailers and sort of premieres of new games or unannounced games. So it's become like a Winter E3. Whether it keeps that accolade post this discussion, we'll decide at the very end.
Yeah.
Based on the quality of the reveals. Now we're going to go through the reveals first. When you actually look at what was revealed, there's an awful lot there. So whether we'll get round to everything, I don't know. But we're definitely going to try and pick out the big ones, and then also look back at some omissions, because one of the exciting things about the week leading into the Game Awards and leading into E3 is all these leaks and rumours going around. You think, oh, I'm going to get that. But as usual, there's always stuff missing. So we will go through that as well at the very end, and then also discuss the actual Game Awards themselves. So I don't envisage it being a 3-hour epic like we did for E3, although the actual show, I think we worked out, was over 3 hours in the end.
Over 3 hours, yeah. An absolute beast it was, full of adverts, the one I watched as well, even though they were game adverts, but still.
Yeah, and do you mean adverts as in the ones that play on YouTube or within the show embedded?
Within the show embedded, the one I was watching.
Yeah, that was the same for everyone. So yeah, there was an awful lot of ads in there, as well as the reveals, and a shitload of categories as well. So it's really kind of grown. But we'll run through it and see where we get. So, I mean, there's no particular order to this. Essentially, I've got a page, and I've listed as much as I possibly could. There's some kind of major announcements, and there's some smaller announcements. I'm going to go through some of what I perceive to be some of the smaller ones. So, and again, I'm not going to pick any out. And if there's anything you want to specifically talk about at the end of this, then feel free to bring it up. But one that I did like, and it's a game that I played back in 2013, was the Stanley Parable. As a PC only title, we've just been slagging off Master Race, and there's one there, but it's 5 years old. And it was a really, really interesting, good sort of, it's like a first-person comedy game almost, and had all sorts of different endings, and it is always fourth wall breaking. If you've not played the Stanley Parable, and you've got a PC, go and download it. It's really good. It'll be really cheap now. But if you haven't got a PC, the key thing here is they're going to be now coming to consoles. So it took them a while, but the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is coming to consoles. Although again, instead, if you've got a PC, pick it up for that, because it'll be a hell of a lot cheaper on there.
That's one I've never played, actually.
Have you not? I thought it was a game you'd have picked up and played for some reason.
Yeah. I always thought, is it done by Valve, is it? Or
No, it's not. It's not done by Valve.
it looked like but it had that sort of setting. It reminded me of that sort of Portal type.
Yeah, it does bring back memories of things like Portal
Right.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah, it's a really interesting game if you've not played
Mm.
it. It's like an interactive, I guess, like it's like a walking simulator back in the
Right.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just has some really crazy endings. There's a lot of stuff you can do to just kind of mess around and play with it, and it will. There's about I think there's like 25 different endings or something stupid like that.
Cool.
And it's not a serious game, but you can experiment and go through. I think it started back in the day as a free mod for Half-Life 2, which might be why you kind of had that link to Valve, because it was at some point
Right.
it was a modification, and then
Ah.
they use the it was made in the Source engine from what I can remember.
Right.
So that's probably why it looks a little bit like Portal and those games. But it's a great little game, and if you've not had a PC all this time, go out and get that when it comes out.
Crack on.
There was a quite a strange game revealed called Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey,
Mm.
which basically puts you in control of ape-like beings, I guess, from like 10 million years ago. And it looks like as you progress through the game, you become more evolved versions of the apes, and I'm assuming eventually you will get to human, maybe, or they mentioned a primate like Lucy, which I'm not really that all familiar with, but this was I don't know what this really was, to be honest. It looked a little bit janky to me. I don't know if you had any opinion on what
It
Ancestors.
did, yeah.
I liked the idea of it when he was describing it, and then when I saw it, I was like,
Yeah, when he started showing footage, it was like, cool. What is this to?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Just sort of the way the animation of how like the monkey was like swinging from the tree and stuff. I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, creator from Assassin's Creed, and
Cool, that's all great.
that's what's being wheeled out.
Yeah.
We'll see. I like the idea of it, but I'm not sure whether it's going to get on the radar.
No.
Rage 2 had another trailer, so we've seen quite a lot of Rage.
Look good now.
Yeah, it is. It's basically like a big Mad Max, isn't it? Like a crazy,
crazy
colourful
thing.
Mad Max.
Did you see the Easter egg for Doom in the
didn't.
trailer? Where he was going up in the elevator. You know the beginning of Doom where you're going up the elevator and then he cocks the shotgun to the music.
Yeah.
So it did that. But I suppose it is id Software in it, I think. Is it id?
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
they did the original Rage, and this is now Avalanche. So
right.
I think they're consulting on this.
That's
but
the one Just Cause, isn't it? I think Avalanche.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There's all sorts they're up to. Getting busy. But
Yeah,
it's quite a good trailer, I thought.
Yeah, it's got that. The post-apocalypse thing, kicking old Fallout ice down.
Yeah, it's having a real stinking. We'll probably get onto another one that's going to really lay the boot in later on. But Rage 2, the reveal of its May 14th release date.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a reveal, wasn't it, as well? Because it didn't have a release date, did it? Cool.
For some reason, I had it earlier than that in my head, but
yeah, what was that? There's like that date in February. Is it 22nd of February? Where there's about 4 or 5 games coming out.
Oh yeah, it's this fucking joke, isn't it? Anthem's one of them, and there's all other sorts of bollocks there.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was one of them.
But it's good that it's not, I guess, because May, historically, a bit quiet.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether that gets to anywhere.
Yeah.
Something that interested me, because I was eating whilst I was watching this bit, and then I looked up and I was like, oh, what's this? It looks like Sea of Thieves, and I assumed it was an expansion for Sea of Thieves, and I was like, oh wow, look, they're adding like sharks to catch and all this like on land stuff, and I was like, oh wow, it looks like they're really building out Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Got to the end, and actually it was a trailer for a new game called Atlas, which is an MMO from the creators of Ark Survival Evolved.
Oh, that's
so
right. Yeah.
this wasn't Sea of Thieves at all. It was a huge. They've said it's going to be 12,000 times bigger than Ark, which is crazy.
Wow.
40,000 players interacting at once. I will believe those stats when I see it.
10 FPS the whole way through.
Yes, yeah, it'll be. That's the thing with the Ark game. It always looked rough as dog shit, even on like Master Race.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's,
it did look pretty poor, but yeah, I was the same as you. Because there's another, wasn't there another game? Skull and Bones, was it?
yeah, Ubisoft's
Because
kind of pirate
that
game.
was it. That was it. 'Cause I was thinking this was this as well, and I was like, oh. And then when you see it's a whole new IP, I was like, crikey,
Yeah,
right, a third one in it. But yeah, it does
using
look quite interesting.
using that Arc money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they've just ported that to Switch now, haven't they? Unbelievably.
How is that going to run? Is Digital Foundry?
Oh
I'm gonna
God, I've seen a few.
I need to see Digital Foundry do that because that's surely going to be.
I was gonna say, yeah, yeah. I've seen a couple of YouTubers do it, and they've given nothing but an absolute slagging. So once DF get their hands on it, but but yeah, Alice, it does look quite interesting. But there's a lot of similarities to Sea of Thieves, isn't there? And if they're riding on the back of that.
Yeah, well, I think the difference will be just the size of the map and the amount of players. If they're saying 12,000 times bigger than Ark with 40,000 players, I'm sure that will dwarf the Sea of Thieves stuff. And it's an interesting idea. It's one of those games. Ark Piper's got it and he's played it and he likes it, but just looking at it being played, it always looks just a bit ropey.
Yeah,
it's not quite. Up to the required standard, but if it's
it's coming soon as well. At least a beta, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. So if you've got an Xbox, it'll be joining the old preview program in the new year. So keep an eye on that if you're interested. I might keep an eye on it, but it's a bit of a commitment to pay for something in a preview program because you have no idea how it's going to fucking end up. Could be diabolical. But yeah, Atlas is certainly one of the something we didn't know. I certainly had no clue that was going on. It was a nice surprise. Something that's not really my bag, but is certainly going to please a lot of people is Psychonauts 2 kind of resurfacing because there was it was supposed to be out this year and it didn't make it, and they've come out and made a new trailer, so that's not cancelled, which I think some people were a bit concerned about. I know the original was extremely well received and extremely popular. Tim Schafer running around with the scripts and whatnot, but good to see that's alive and well, and maybe one for the old Fantasy Gaming League next year for people if they're feeling a little bit brave.
Yeah, I've never really been one. I've not delved into this franchise at all. Could be a Switch game. Whack it on there.
Chuck it on there. Get everything on there.
Chuck it on there. Exactly.
Get on there. Get on there. Now, this next one is an odd one. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order.
Yeah.
Surprised to see it.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of 1 and 2. I played both of them on the 360. They glorified mobile games. They play a bit like Diablo.
Right.
They pretty much are Diablo.
Okay.
Yeah. They're sort of action RPG games. I'm trying to think. There wasn't that much RPG elements, if I can remember. You didn't have any skill trees or anything.
Right.
You just sort of you could just change characters on the fly.
Yeah.
But it was about like Marvel lore and stuff. You'd get like questions. There'd be like a person blocking an entry, and you had to do like a Marvel quiz to get past him.
Right. Yeah.
So it's quite good, but all the cutscenes are what sold it for me. There's like these epic cutscenes that this is like probably before just the beginning of the MCU starting. So they were quite good. They were recently re-released because they were taken off of digital for some reason. I think some licensing problem.
Yeah.
And they've only, I think, in the last couple of years, they've only just been added back onto Steam. But yeah, when I saw this trailer, at first I thought it was a Telltale game, and I was thinking, hang on, they're dead.
Yeah, I thought it was Guardians of the Galaxy, like coming to Switch or something, and I was like you, I was like, they're gone.
Yeah. And then when it come up with that, I was like, oh, cool, share this game. And then seeing it was a Switch exclusive, I was like, crikey, that is bizarre.
That is madness. And I was not expecting that at all. I wonder whether it's a timed exclusive, but
Yeah, it could possibly be, I'd imagine. I mean, it probably would play quite well on the Switch, we're given the success of Diablo on it. But yeah, it's that type of game, and it's for like the proper Marvel fans that love the comic stuff. I'm sure there's enough in there for the movie goers.
yeah.
But it's a lot about the sort of lesser characters and the factions and stuff that are in the comics and not in the films.
Yeah.
But yeah, be interesting. It's definitely one I'll have a look at.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got the Japanese studio Team Ninja that are
That was a
developing it.
surprise as well.
So Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive, and some pedigree there. So it might not be a complete disaster.
No.
But Switch only at the moment. Not really clear who's publishing it. If it ends up being Nintendo, certainly you will not see that anywhere else. Might be one of those Bayonetta things where they've funded it and decided it's going to stay on their platform. So
Yeah, could very well be.
it's a nice little pickup though, especially cashing on the old Marvel and Avengers, I guess, hype that's coming on. So
Yeah.
Russo brothers in attendance also.
I was going to say, did they didn't have anything to do with this reveal, did they? They didn't sort of leave
No,
it.
it's mad, yeah. They were there to give out, I think it's the best ongoing game.
Oh, that's right, yeah,
award.
Fortnite, wasn't it? What's it called? Like the theme of what they were doing.
That's it.
Kept going on about Fortnite. I thought, well,
Yeah.
it's actually give us a fucking Avengers game, bloody hell.
Yeah, because I mean, coming on to the missions later on, but there is potentially an mission there for Square Enix's Avenger game, which doesn't seem to be focusing anywhere or dropping anywhere. So Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'll certainly take a look when it's out. Wolverine in there, which is always good news. Sometimes cut from some of the Avengers stuff, so proper old school. Everyone crammed into there.
Get it on.
Right, so your personal contender for Game of the Year, Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
Now, there may be... if you haven't played Far Cry 5 and you want to play it, walk away now, because the announcement of the follow-up or the next Far Cry game basically spoils the ending of 5.
Literally does.
It literally does. Now I know what Adkins was referring to when he mentioned this infamous ending. But yeah, walk away now if for some reason you want to play Far Cry 5 and you somehow missed what New Dawn is and how it's related. It sounds like it's a direct sequel set many years later. But the twist, I guess, is, and here comes the spoiler, is that it's set in a post-apocalyptic Montana. So... would have been fine with that, but obviously, it's that's the ending. There's bombs dropping, I assume, within Far Cry 5. I've not played it. You have. Does this make sense given what occurs in Far Cry 5?
Oh, it makes complete sense, but it just baffles me how the game came out at the end of March, and the beginning of December they're bringing out a new game and spoiling it for everyone. Absolutely baffles me. You would have thought that they would have sort of teased this game and give it at least a year, maybe
tease it, and then let those who've played Far Cry 5 to go, I know what's going on here. Those that haven't played it would still, but they basically come out and say direct sequel after the bombs have dropped. What?
Yeah, exactly. So when I see it, because this was one that leaked early, wasn't it? I think there was a few reports of it, and then I think even Ubisoft was like, right, let's just get this out there, so put a little teaser trailer out. But yeah, really fucking baffles me. But I don't know. Yeah, I did like it. I quite like the idea of it. It's a strange one. A lot of resemblance to Rage 2 as well.
Yes, yeah.
Colour, tone.
Colour wine, yeah. It's got a lot of pink and purple and bright colours, not dreary greys and greens and whatnot, but due out before Rage 2 as well in February 2019. I think we can safely assume it's going to be, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but it's a reskin of 5, so the same map, just obviously been blown to shit and grown. From what I've read and looked at, it looks like it's set quite a way after 5.
Yeah,
So
15 years, I think they said 15
yeah,
years after, or something like 17 years. One of them.
so I guess the character you play is long gone
Yeah,
or not
it's
involved.
a new character, and yeah, it's set 15 years after the events of the first game.
Yeah,
There will be characters from the first game, they said, that you
yeah,
will meet, but obviously a lot have gone and that. So yeah, and it's just they said it will be a reskin of the map, but there will
yeah,
be parts that have sort of been rebuilt and adjusted and
yeah.
changed up a little bit. But it's the same map. It's a reskin. They ain't making another game within a
No,
year.
no, yeah, that'd be madness. But I mean,
Yeah.
one of the things I was surprised at is that they'd mentioned and we saw him like the main antagonist
Yeah.
Joseph.
Yeah.
He's lurking in the trailer, so
Mm.
he's still knocking around, seemingly
Yeah.
15 years later.
Yeah, it really does, and looks like he's taking on a new lease of life.
Mm.
According to the trailer, he was the one that wanted to make all the noise in the first game, and then in this trailer he's saying, "Oh, maybe I got it wrong."
Yeah,
So is he going to turn face? Is it they'd say in wrestling?
yeah, that's it.
It's
Yeah.
heel.
When he go from heel to face,
That's it. Is he
potentially.
turn heel, or is he still going to stick to his bad ways? And we'll see. But yeah, this is Far Cry. I think it is what it is, and doesn't seem to be a lot different. They've added this new, like, I forget what it's called. It's basically massive, where you've got the liberation things, where the outposts that you take down in Far Cry games. This
Yeah.
one's going to be like, instead of just like a building and surrounding area, this one's going to be like the size of a theme park, and you have to take it over.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just a bit of a bigger scale. But other than that, they've got pretty much all the same mechanics and stuff that were in Far Cry 5. So
Yeah.
yeah, reskin jobby, I think.
Yeah. Would you? Because obviously they've done this previously with Far Cry 3. There was Blood Dragon that came out separately,
Yeah.
at a cheaper price. I
Yep.
think that used, I don't know if it used the same map, but it was very close to using Far Cry 3 assets. So it was like a spin-off, basically, not linked with 3. Then we had Far Cry 4, and then Far Cry Primal, which came shortly after. Again, used same assets and the same map. If you believe not believe, but if you read the reports and someone's had a look, and it is the same map that's being used.
Yeah.
But again, not linked to Far Cry 4, set miles and miles before. Completely again separate spin-off. And then you've got Far Cry 5, and then it's sort of expecting a spin-off, but it's actually more of a sequel. How do you feel about that?
It does. It's strange. I'm just looking on some game websites now, and I know this obviously isn't 100% confirmed, but it's showing full price here
Yeah.
at £40.
Primal was as well, and that's what got up my nose, because I actually like the look of Primal more than 4.
Yeah.
And then when I saw that it was the same map and it was full price, I was like, hang on a minute.
Yeah. Well, I really like Blood Dragon because it was such a sort of a steer away from the series. It was its own little thing. It was enough that it was different and didn't have anything to do with Far Cry 3. And it was that cheaper price, so you didn't feel too bad doing it. But yeah, I was exactly the same as you. I was interested in Primal, and after playing 4, I was sort of worn out of Far Cry at the minute and didn't fancy going through it again at full price. No, this one, I do like the look of it, but looking at that full price, it's got to be a commitment there, but I'm not too sure for a reskin.
Yeah,
maybe if you saw that at sort of 25 or something, then maybe.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just a bit hot on the heels as well, isn't it? I mean, we're less than a year
Well,
out
that's
from
ridiculous.
Far
It would
Cry
literally
5.
be February the 15th is the release date.
Yeah.
So that is just under a month, under a year of that coming out, and they're expecting everyone to have it finished, done and dusted, and for the new one, Ubisoft chucking them out.
Yeah, and what's a little bit crazy is because it's a sequel, although they were clever not to, the name's not related to 5 at all, but because people like me will read it, I immediately think, well, I can't really be playing through that because it might be too closely linked to 5. It's got characters that are coming back, and also the main kind of baddies in it as well, I'd be like, oh, I'd probably want to play through 5, and then it's like, right, now it's a 2-game commitment just to get through.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll freeze people like me out who kind of skipped Far Cry 5 for whatever reason and think, well, now it doesn't look more of the same, it looks completely different, but it's still narratively might be too close for newcomers to enjoy.
Yeah, it is worrying, and yeah, it does seem like they're alienating a lot of especially a lot of new fans, like you say, like people that or like yourself, have played the franchise but are not committers that commit to every game that comes out. Yeah, they really are alienating everyone. So an odd decision, but one we'll see if it pans out or not.
Well, I mean, the only thing I guess from a comedy perspective is this is the big kick in the balls for Fallout 76, another one, another post-apocalyptic open worlder.
Yeah, there's a few this year. I'm trying to think what was the last theme. I suppose obviously the Battle Royale's still going. Have we had a lot of jungles recently, maybe? Tomb Raider was a bit of a jungle.
Yeah, a little bit of jungle here and there, but it's definitely
the year of the post-apocalyptic, isn't it? Yeah.
The thing is, we had all this when Fallout originally come out, sort of Fallout 3.
True. We had Rage, Borderlands.
Could argue The Last of Us.
Yeah.
It's definitely
another wave.
Another wave of this. And I think out of the 3, those 3 that we kind of discussed, including Fallout 76, I think we'll write that off immediately.
Yeah.
But Rage 2, still looks like the one out of them I'd probably most likely take a look at.
Yeah, looking the most fully flourished. A lot of people are saying that they're sort of crediting Ubisoft with how polished this game does look, but then they're doing a lot of work. So for Rage to build a whole new game with assumes a whole new engine.
Yeah,
got to give them the credit, so that'll be the bigger sniffer for probably both of us.
Yeah, and to be Ubisoft's credit, they ship games. They don't sit still, do they? They're always got something fucking coming out every quarter almost. It's madness how busy they are. And there's not really a case of many stinkers that come out of it. Sure, there's stuff that you might look at and think I'm not that interested in, but typically there's not bad games coming out. Just different tastes for folks. They all seem open world.
Love it.
You've got the real time sinks, Ubisoft.
Yeah, they do have that. Their little sort of set structures they have, don't they, with the towers and the collectibles. Yeah, go Ubi.
Paying dividends. Next one. This is something that I am invested in to a certain extent. The thing was, when this was announced, or this trailer dropped, I thought, I wonder what that looks weird. That looks like a whole new IP from BioWare. So it's BioWare's kind of, I think they set it up that it was going to be BioWare. It come up in the first part of the trailer, and it was like hashtag the Dread Wolf Rises. And I was like, that's a new game. I wonder what that's all about. It looks quite interesting. It's more of like a setting. It didn't show any gameplay or anything like that.
No.
Then having obviously jumped on the internet after I'd watched it, it's the new Dragon Age game. So it's actually going to be whatever Dragon Age 4 is going to be called. I can't imagine it's going to be called 4. They've never used numbers. So, but it's a very early look at that, but it shows that it's on the way. At this stage though, after the Andromeda debacle, which I don't think was a complete shocker of a game many people did not enjoy, are BioWare potentially damaged goods at this stage?
It could possibly. I've never touched the Dragon Age franchise. I own, currently as of yesterday, I now own. Is Origins 1?
I believe so.
Yeah, but Origins. Wasn't there one called like The Awakening as well, or something? Was that?
The Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition.
That was it. And then there was Dragon Age Origin, I think, and then there was The Awakening, and then Dragon Age 2. They were on like 360, I believe. And then so this will be the sequel. So is that wolf thing? Is that something to do with one of the previous games, or?
This is where my knowledge falls apart, because I've only played Inquisition. I jumped in there. I told a lie there. Dragon Age 2 was called Dragon Age 2, so I don't know what on earth I was bobbling about there.
Oh, right. And then was it Origin? Was it Origin The Awakening or something?
Yeah, so it was Origins, and there was an expansion called Origins Awakening, then 2, then we had Inquisition.
Right, gotcha.
and I only jumped into Inquisition, and yes, I think that was 5 years ago, because that was the first winner of the Game Awards, Dragon Age Inquisition. And that might have even been one of the things that tipped me into getting it, because
really? Yeah.
it was just after, I'm trying to do my maths here, I believe the consoles had just launched, like the PS4, PS5,
right,
all that good stuff, and it's a bit barren at that point, and that was something that was out on 360 and on One and PS4 and PS3, but yeah, I remember I picked Inquisition up and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I've always liked the BioWare pedigree.
Yeah.
And it's had that sort of Skyrim setting, I thought it was supposed to be like. So, but it's one I've never delved into. But yeah, like you say, he does put a question mark over it, as to thinking, are they damaged goods?
Yeah.
The old BioWare boys. Is it does Casey do this? Casey Hudson?
It should be, yeah. So Casey's the big gun. I'm guessing he's quite focused on Anthem, and this is far enough away. But my assumption is he will move on to this. Well, who knows? Because Anthem might be one of those things that lives for years, or tries to live for years after its release. But I think it's important that they put their best foot forward with something like Dragon Age, because Anthem, although it's BioWare, is still something new. So people like me who love Mass Effect and have enjoyed at least one of the Dragon Age games, I look at Anthem and think, well, I'm not expecting the same experience that I've got with those two games with Anthem, because it's more of like it's chasing that Destiny, isn't it? It's chasing that style. So I'm not saying I won't play it. I probably will end up getting it, but I'm not expecting like a good story with choices and things like that. That's not in my mindset. But whenever this releases, Dragon Age, I would expect that to be more like how they've released the previous ones.
Yeah, I've heard a rumor that this is ages away.
4 years or something stupid.
2021 is what I've been heard as quoted. I was like, cool. Now that, I suppose they are big
$2
games.
$2 million Geoff paid for that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, there are these announcements. You know, you had the Elder Scrolls and Death Stranding and Last of Us 2, where they get announced so many years forward. And I suppose this game must be as big as them. Probably maybe not as big as some of them, but it is quite a big franchise. But is that? Do you think that's a good thing, having something announced this early? If you have got another 4-hour wait, just so you know it's coming, or would you rather not hear anything until they've got something a bit more to show than just a sort of title?
Yeah, there's a balance to it, that's for sure, because you don't want to get, again, it was touched on an admission here, but like Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah,
that was,
wasn't it? Yeah,
that was the E3 before. It was last E3, so 2017's E3, so over 18 months ago. All we saw was a logo.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Literally it's been over a year, isn't it? We still ain't had anything.
I mean, it's probably a bit OTT to be coming out 2-3 years in advance, but, you know, as a fan of someone who became a fan of Dragon Age through playing their latest game, it's nice to know it's in the works. It's, again, I guess, adjusting and being sensible about when the next game is. It's not. I don't expect it to hit in the next year or so. They've not promised that. It's obvious that there's Anthem to come out first and be tweaked and be dealt with, and then other work going in behind these. I don't know. I quite like knowing. Just don't.
Yeah.
It will be. It's when it's not like it's. When it annoys me most is when it's like a platform exclusive, because then you're potentially not that people should really buy on a promise, but if you were interested in only Metroid, you might have gone, I'll go and get a Switch now for Metroid Prime 4, and then 18 months later you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass going, hang on, where's that? Whereas with Dragon Age, I know it's going to be available on all platforms, but if you've gone out specifically to buy a franchise, then I can see where it would annoy people, but you just got to be a bit sensible about it.
Crackdown 3, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, the thing about Crackdown 3 is that was supposed to come out years ago, and they just had a fucking howler with it. So that's got some sort of it's scary, that is. But yeah, looking forward to finding out what that is eventually. Dragon Age, and always up for show us what's in the fire. Just don't I suppose they haven't said anything like when it's coming at all. It's just like here's there. And to really top it off, Bethesda at their E3 they revealed Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, which are probably further away.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
I think it's just to get people, because if I look back at when perhaps a game should have been revealed and it wasn't, if you look back at BlizzCon, the expectation was that Diablo 4 was going to be announced. So everyone beforehand got all geared up for it. It was like, yeah, Diablo 4, it's been like in 8 years or whatever it is. It's been a long time since it first launched. It's now time. We're expecting it. And then they showed the mobile game saying this is what's coming in the near future, but then didn't talk about Diablo 4 at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then people who are fans of Blizzard went fucking mental.
Yeah.
So maybe you should just show it and say, we are working on it, by the way. Here it is, a little look at it, and gets people off your back.
Yeah, that is true.
If it ends up being cancelled, though, a la, what was that dragon game that was meant to be on Xbox?
Oh, yeah, Scalebound?
Scalebound, yeah.
Oh,
if it gets cancelled like that, then you're like, well, that's a real kick in the balls. But
yeah, that is true.
I'd say get a reveal out there and then just keep quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Because there's loads of other games that are coming out to keep people entertained.
Yep.
We spoke a little bit about Fallout, a fair amount already, just sort of slagging off 76 and looking at some other games. But the original Fallout creators, Obsidian, who are now owned by Microsoft, gets a bit complicated. They're owned by Microsoft, but this game is going to be available on all other platforms because it was already in the works with another publisher. So Microsoft feels sort of been checkmated there and thought, all right, what have I bought into here? The first game under our ownership is going to go out to the other platforms. But this was the Outer Worlds. So it looked sort of like a sci-fi open worldy type game. It seemed like the trailer showed a lot of, like, there's a part on it where it's like, they're pointing to the camera saying, you've got to choose between these two, and then he shoots one of them, and the lady's like, you didn't have to shoot any of them. And it's kind of, Obsidian are famous for giving like player agency and choices. So I can see that's what they're going to try and peg this on, and it's good to see that they're not doing like another Pillars of Eternity game, which I've never played and never got into. This looks like more like a proper kind of more of a big budget game. Yeah,
definitely. You could tell from the trailer that it had their pedigree in it, didn't it? It had that sort of Fallout vibe. I got a lot of Borderlands vibes from it as well. But yeah, with the space, they're like on the edge of space or something, sort of new civilization being taken over. It does have an interesting feel. I wonder if it will have a sort of bit of a No Man's Sky-esque to it, where they're sort of exploring, if you'd be able to go to different planets and such.
Certainly looked like that was possible. And I imagine it's going to have role-playing elements similar to some of their other games and whatnot. But they're famous for their stories and their kind of a dark humour and player choice. So I'm digging this at the moment. New IP. And
it does look quite interesting.
I've liked some of the stuff that Obsidian done before. Fallout New Vegas. Some people say it's the best Fallout. Bish will tell you otherwise. But yeah, something nice and new. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Definitely had some. It was very comedic, the trailer. Yes, like you say, they do have that. They can do it, but you can get it wrong sometimes, and then that's true. And you're struggling. I think Take-Two are publishing this, which is probably why it's multi-format. So that's the ones that they do like LA Noire and that. Yeah. So they're actually, I think you go far enough down the chain, that's who Rockstar sit under. Cool. Pedigree chum. Yeah, they must have been working on this for a while because it was obviously years before the buyout happened from Microsoft. So they're like, Phil went, what's that? I've just got to finish this off. It's only a little project. And 3 years later, they're still doing the Outer Worlds, and Phil's like, fucking hell! I paid you like $4 million. You're sitting there doing that to put it on bloody Sean's platform. Yeah. They're outselling us 2-1. We need the game just on that. And like, well, Take-Two, we've got commitments. Phil might have had his feet up there. So, that's what I wonder if it's actually not too far away because there's obviously a lot of resource being poured in this from Obsidian. And if Microsoft just bought them, they will want a exclusive game in the near future.
Yeah, it's quite possible. There was a sort of element you could see, sort of gameplay within the trailer as well. So,
well, Game Informer have got 14 minutes of it somewhere, so I'm going to have a look at that after this and take a real good look at it.
yeah, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that.
Loving a bit of GI lately. They're getting some good scoops in terms of gameplay.
Some good previews, didn't they, with some of the big games?
Yeah,
oh boys,
absolutely. But yeah, that's one of my highlights. The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, definitely one of the big ones, wasn't it?
Looking forward to that. Another semi-big one is a 16-bit Stranger Things game based on season 3.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw this.
So they had the 2 creators.
That's it.
Directors, whatever you want to call them, writers.
That's it.
So they came out, and when they announced it, I thought they were going to talk about. Well, so it was strange that they came out first because there is a mobile game. Obviously, I didn't know there was 2 mobile games.
Yeah.
And so it did sort of struck me. But yeah, the way they're going to tie this in, it does look interesting.
Yeah.
Have you played any of them or?
Nah, I didn't. I love the show, but when it was like, it's a mobile top down, I was just like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. I saw this and I was a bit like,
nah,
not sure about that. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
But
no, it'd be interesting if it's a tie-in because I don't assume the other 2 aren't. I haven't heard of any.
No, well, what they said on this one is that it's like an adaptation based on the events of the 3rd season.
Right.
So I don't know if it's set during it or prior to it or after or something like that. There's going to be, I'm assuming there's going to be stuff that links in. So there might be some cool Easter eggs in there if you watch the show and then play this. You might see some stuff and think, but you're playing as like one of the characters or a couple of the characters in the game, like Steve and Jim, who are in it. So obviously they won't reveal too much in the game. I don't know how close away the season 3 is for the actual TV show, but
it came out. The other one came out at Halloween the year before, didn't it?
Yes, yeah, correct.
So we could, probably be a little while yet.
This is meant to be coming out in the summer, so potentially before.
Could be, yeah.
What if they said, you've got to play the game to get the full lore? Oh, fucking hell, what are you doing to me?
That would be an absolute stinker, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, one of the things that was floating around a while back was that Netflix were going to do like an interactive game based on Stranger Things. I think Telltale was supposed to be doing it for them.
Oh, really?
Obviously, they chucked themselves under the bus. I think Netflix have said, we're still going to do it, just not with Telltale now because they're dead. So we might see something else because just in the last couple of weeks, that Minecraft story mode has released on Netflix as like an interactive story. No idea how that works. Not interested.
No, that'd be weird. Yeah, I don't know what's happened there. How are they not getting that fun? How's the money from that not keeping them afloat?
Yeah, unbelievable. They've really chucked that away. A rumour that was out beforehand was that there was going to be Crash Team Racing Remaster.
Yeah.
We're getting that.
Yeah.
Crash obviously popular after his trilogy re-release last year. Did you ever play the original?
Not the racing, no, I never was. I was a Diddy Kong fan. That was the
Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah,
yes.
Diddy Kong Racing. I never did delve into the
Mario
Crash
Kart
thing.
dropped.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had Mario Kart on. God knows what did I have it on? N64 maybe.
Yeah.
And then obviously I've got it on the Switch now. But yeah, I never did delve into. There was a Sonic one, and that's coming out as well, isn't it, next year?
Oh yeah, Sonic Team, yeah.
And then, so you got this one as well. But yeah, it looks like it's on the same engine as the Crash Bandicoot remastered games, which is very popular. We just had the Spyro games done as well, haven't we? So it's definitely a theme down here.
Just need that Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing, Konami?
Is this Activision again? Is it?
I believe so. Yeah. I think all the Crash stuff now sits with Activision. So it'll be on all platforms.
I was watching this. I watched the kind of funny reactions to this because the Lord Gettys, Tim Gettys, is like an absolute Crash Bandicoot fanboy. So
Right.
I just wanted to see his reaction to this. But in the Game Awards trailer, it said it was just going on PlayStation 4.
Oh,
But then looking online after, it's all platforms, including the Switch.
interesting.
So,
I wonder whether Sony'd pay for the marketing on it. So whenever you
yeah,
see a trailer, it will say PlayStation,
yeah,
but it's also available on. So they might have been helping out with that. But
yeah, it's possible.
Activision's still taking titles with Crash.
Yeah, cashing it in. I've got the remastered games that I need to work my way through, but fucking backlog's coming out your bumhole.
Hard as well.
Yeah.
They look fucking well hard.
Bard as bulk, them fucks. Air pullers. But Crash T Racing, wouldn't it? Would it get a sniff?
Yeah.
Probably not.
You'll get. Well, that's the trouble with Mario Kart. I think I'm done. I don't need 2 of those games.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Be good if you have friends around and play 'em.
Yeah, that's true.
But how many times do you have friends around?
I don't want
Me,
people
I
in
ain't
this
got any
house.
friends, so...
Nah.
When
And I've got some, but I don't want them here. I think, well, I want you here, making fucking mess. Get out.
Exactly.
Absolute disaster.
No, it's good to see again. There's obviously fans of the series, and there's a want for it. So good on them.
Just need Diddy Kong.
Get that Diddy Kong done. That's the daddy one.
And the real trio of kart races is complete. all back at it.
Yep.
One for you. Mortal Kombat 11 announced out in April 2019.
So this one was heavily rumoured before.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was, to be honest, because of they'd done Mortal Kombat, and then was it about 2 years after or a year after they'd done Injustice 2.
Yeah.
So to be working on another one, boom, straight out the gate. Yeah, which is interesting because all we saw was a trailer similar to their Mortal Kombat X announcement trailer, where it had that one had Sub-Zero and Scorpion fighting over some Wiz Khalifa music.
Yeah.
This one had Scorpion versus Raiden to 21 Savage. And it's had a lot of feedback, shall we say? Saying about
it was weird.
Yeah, it didn't fit. I'm not a fan of that genre of music. Mumble rap called in it. Right. It's this new rap. I'm a big rap fan. You can tell I'm gangster. But this new mumble rap, I'm not a fan, and it just didn't fit the trailer at all. It didn't. This is it was a gory trailer as well.
Yeah, I was expecting something a little bit more energetic because what was going on, the actual goings on of the trailer was actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
with Raiden and Scorpion batting it out and some of the gory, what are they fucking called? Their bloody word. For
fatalities.
Fatalities.
Yes.
Obviously, it's all CGI, but yeah, then you had this slow mumble rap going on. I was like, is this gonna kick in? I don't.
Yeah, it really is poor. It's a bad choice from old Ed Boon. But that just sort of announced it. The real shocker for me, two shockers actually. One I've just seen is that this will be on Switch.
Yeah.
Thinking, cool, blimey.
Is that running?
Swing. But also the game, there's an adventure mode that's going to be coming to it, which they had a game. I think it was on the GameCube or a system like that, and it was like a bit of like a Streets of Rage type.
Nice.
So this is going to have a new version of that. So it could be quite interesting for fans that, and like yourself, who sort of delve in and out of fighters and beat 'em ups and that.
Yeah.
And you want something different than just your standard fighting game. You got a bit of a story mode here with a bit of adventure. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with this.
Well, that's such a good idea to include I know that Injustice has got a really good story mode, but it is just one-on-one fighting with cutscenes and story. It's still good. I enjoyed playing through both of those, but some form of side-scrolling adventure mode would be with the controls and all that that you play one-on-one would be. I would love that. I think that would be a really good idea if they can implement it right. I'll definitely be down for that. I've not really delved much into Mortal Kombat since I was a kid.
No.
Obviously fiddling around with it. I did want to get 10, but I never quite got round to it. I wasn't sure what the story mode was like in that, or the single player. I don't know if it was quite on the level of Injustice, because Injustice I thought was like sort of top draw, especially in the second one.
Yeah, it was sort of similar. It wasn't as in depth, but no, it just sort of delved quite into the lore of Mortal Kombat. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I played through it. I've always been a big fan of them games, so buy them. I'm just a friend texts me what I just mentioned. I'm just going to read it. I'm just trying to find it.
Read out the stats and whatnot.
That's what it said.
We might find out soon, because I think January the 17th they've got a community reveal event. So possibly they'll show what they're up to. I don't know what a community reveal event is, to be honest.
Here we go. So
hot off the press.
Hot off the press. So it's a proper adventure mode, new version of Shaolin Monks type of gameplay. You can play and customize your character in this mode. Lots of items for weapon customization too. Also boxes, daily buyable. Also sounds like it could be a microtransaction thing.
What are you doing, Booney?
Disaster. Adventure mode is a 2-player co-op, online or single with drop-in, drop-out gameplay. Interesting. Story mode and adventure mode are different. Both are included. Story mode is normal NetherRealm Game Studios, and then the story revolves around 3 main characters. And then it just goes on to what that's about. But yeah, could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, up for it. Anything to give a casual player like myself a route into a fighting game, I'm always down for. I mean, even like I've just bought Smash, like literally an hour ago.
Yeah.
And primarily it's from looking at the reviews and getting a view of what's in there, is because a lot of them were praising the single player mode in there.
Yeah.
So should I never choose to be good at the game and play online, I've still got something kind of to fall back on.
Yeah.
And I've only ever played Injustice 1 and 2 through the stories, and then Injustice 2 I've done the story and that what was that bloody
multiverse, was it?
Multiverse. I think that's a really good idea. I think that's excellent. But yeah, so I think they've got modes like this where someone who's a little more casual can get involved. I'll happily chuck down some money and play through that, or perhaps borrow it from the library.
Yeah. It'll be in there at some point. You're always welcome.
Yeah, so that's quite a positive bit of information we've got from Mortal Kombat 11. I liked the visuals of the trailer, but yeah, the music
needs that sort of old head boom.
Yeah, I think Alan up top's been told he's got to try and make it trendy, and that's what he's come up with. And
WB, innit? All that money.
Chucking it away, ain't they?
Yeah.
They saved one announcement to the very last.
Yep.
And it was a bit of an odd one to me. I thought it was Cyberpunk. Because basically they were going towards to do Game of the Year. Then all the lights went off. And I was like, and then Red come up, and I was like, look, it's going to be like a hack, and we're going to see some more Cyberpunk. Yeah. And then I saw that it was like the logo for Persona, and I was like, right. And then I saw that it was Smash, and I was like, right. And one of the final reveals was that Persona 5's Joker is the first Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC character, so he'll have his own stage, and obviously a character for you to play as. Yeah. What do you think of that? It's very niche.
Yeah, very niche. Yeah, I've got to say, I was the same. I didn't really have a clue. I assumed it was going to be either a new Persona game or a port to Switch, and then it was like
both
an envelope.
Of which I preferred.
Yeah, same here. Because we had, was it the Piranha Plant was sort of like it was going to be a DLC character, wasn't it? But then they've sort of stuck it in late doors or something. So this is the official first DLC character. But yeah, very niche, like you say.
I mean, it's only on the Persona 5 is a PlayStation exclusive, which is a bit of a, which is why I think I was a bit like shocked to see it on here at all. I was like, how's that got on there? Yeah, with people like Bayonetta, that's quite niche, but then that's a Nintendo franchise, so you can see the link there. But yeah, for this, very niche. You would have thought that someone
maybe from Near or something like that. Maybe it would have been more fitting, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean that would have been cool actually. For something from Automat, that would have been really cool. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean Persona's had some really good reviews last year and is popular in the JRPG world.
yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's a foreshadowing of a port coming over because although it's released only on PS3 and PS4, it's published by not by Sony and developed by a different firm. It's just that for whatever reason they've only ever released it on PlayStation. I think Deep Silver do it over here, so it's not like it's owned by PlayStation.
Right.
Whereas something like God of War, that's owned as a Sony IP, so that won't go anywhere. But
No.
it's an odd one.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, was it? How many? Do you remember how many characters it was in total?
What
The
that you can
The DLC, yes. I think if it's only like 5, and you think that's one of them, that's
that is. Yeah, I think it is 5 because it was 22 UK pounds over here at about £5.50 each, give or take a few pennies here and there. And yeah, it is for five characters. That's one of them down. We've got Piranha Plant as another.
So left people screaming out for Waluigi.
I'm screaming out for the real Raiden from fucking Rising.
Yeah, see that would be a lot better, wouldn't it?
That Geralt.
Get Geralt in, yeah.
And how cool would Kratos be in Smash?
See, Kratos would be brilliant. He was in because they had their own little Smash rip, didn't they? And he was in that. I bet he was awesome in that. I never played that, but
imagine him with his axe in Smash.
Oh, that would have been awesome. A real game changer, but no, they blew it. No, I mean, there's obviously huge fans of Persona, but yeah, it was quite a huge surprise. But yeah, because I've not played it, I would like to. I just don't see me committing to the mammoth that it is just yet. So it's a sort of a bit like, oh well, cool. I don't really know who he is, and I don't have that shock factor.
Yeah,
but yeah, interesting.
It's like I said, very niche game. Not many people have played Persona, so it's playing towards a very specific audience, which I don't really know what that audience is. But that was one of the last reveals. I mean, that's not everything. There was a lot of other stuff, a lot of indie games in there. Did anything catch your eye that we haven't gone through? Here we go. 2
caught the eye. A little game, I think it was a new studio called Among the Trees.
Among Them Trees.
Among Them Trees. It was a typical walking simulator. It just the trailer sort of snagged me up. The music was very dreamy, but it had very reminiscent of Firewatch. And I really like that game. So I thought, well, this looks interesting. It's one it's going to be coming out on all platforms, but it's going to be going to Steam first in early access. But they've called it a survival sandbox. That's it. A small, vibrant survival sandbox. So it's got that sort of concept of Firewatch, that very nice looking visuals, and you're in the forest, and that's just one I've been sniffing at. I don't know if you saw it and thought the same.
I did see it, and there's just an awful lot there. But yeah, definitely was. It was interesting to see it, and it's like anything new like that.
Yeah,
and it was a bit Firewatchy. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'll have a little look at that.
Yeah, and the second one didn't really catch me, and I looked thing, but the reason I thought I'd mention it is another game called The Last Campfire, which is none other than the old Hello Game Boys from No Man's Sky. So it looks like they've got. I don't know if it's Sean doing it or if it's a couple of them from his studio. I've got a feeling it is.
Yeah. So from what I've read, it's 2 guys from Hello Games that have kind of been doing a side project.
Right.
And this is what they've come up with is this The Last Campfire. So they kind of introduce it as like a Hello Games short.
Right.
So I can't imagine it's going to be very long.
No.
But yeah, interesting, just because Hello Games themselves, I wasn't expecting much at all from them for the next few years. And they just looks like going to sneak out a little indie game.
Yeah, no, it was quite good. Yeah. Other than that, there wasn't. I think there's a couple of Fortnite trailers, weren't there, for the new season? And then they introduced that The Block.
Yeah.
Which was it's like a section of the map that's now been blocked off, and will have community
Creations and things.
creations that will be shown every week or so. So it's quite fun. I jumped on there today actually after the update because planes have been added in this season.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer, and I was like,
be quite interesting.
What was you playing on?
I had a little go on Switch actually. Of all things, it runs terrible on there, but just because I had my Switch on the go, I just thought, I'll play one game. I came second as well.
Bloody hell!
Close. I was in a squad of randoms. And they all died, and I got to second. I was like, blimey.
Was you shitting yourself?
My hands were shaking. It was. That's why I think I lost it because there's a little circle and about 3 of them. It was 3 against me, and then fucking myself. And they just blasted me down. But yeah, I was quite proud. But yeah, there was a lot of Fortnite in this, obviously. Yeah, this Game Awards. But I'm trying to think of anything else stuck out. No, I think Day of Deadlight. There was a new DLC, wasn't there?
Yeah. To be honest, actually, it's not a bad shout because I enjoyed the time I spent in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Did a stream one night, and what I liked. There's a very similar game which is around Friday the 13th called Friday the 13th. But kind of what I like about Dead by Daylight is it's got a lot of other franchises, like horror franchises attached to it as DLC. So like Saw is on there. I saw Freddy Krueger lurking in there. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, bits and pieces like that. And then the trailer they showed looks like, and this is just an assumption, I haven't done any research on it, that typically there's one character that's like plays Freddy Krueger, for example.
Yeah.
So you see him, you think, fuck it, I'll stay away from him, and you've got to try and get out. Because this one looked like the person who was the killer actually looked like one of the normal people. So it's like, I'm guessing someone's nominated to be the killer, and you have to spend the game trying to get out, not knowing who it is.
Yeah, that shakes it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because it's a PlayStation sort of Plus game. DLC is not free, so it would cost a little bit. But if something like that is something that's sort of half intriguing to me. Yeah.
There was another game as well, Scavengers, I think it was called something.
Yes.
Some co-op game. It didn't really just show the CGI trailer, so there weren't really nothing to go on. But just another one that could be in the work. But
there's quite a few smaller ones in there.
I think we've covered the main ones that stuck out.
I mean, if we went through everything, it would probably take us 3 hours of the awards itself. But despite all of that, there was some stuff that was missing. For me, one of the biggest kicks in the bollocks is, and this arrived late, this rumour, so I probably should have known better, but was expecting a Metroid Prime trilogy release or remaster on Switch. Then some gameplay of Metroid Prime 4, but no, not to be seen.
No, it's surprising
agenda for that one,
especially with the launch of Smash coming on the time of when this was happening. So you've got Samus as one of the main characters in the game. So strike while the iron's hot, but no, they avoided it. I wonder if they're gonna save it for. Well, I'm assuming it's still happening. It probably ain't, to be fair, but they do these. What do they call them? Directs. So maybe they'll save it for that. But I do hope it comes because that would be terrific if they do.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, that was a big omission, and I was with you on that one. I really would have liked to have seen that.
Geoff blows it. Square Enix's Avengers game, still don't know what on earth that's supposed to be. And
like we said,
as time goes on, you wonder if it's ever going to come, because what we're talking about, the next Avengers film, which is like the last one of the phases of this generation, if you want to call it, is mid next year, and it ain't going to arrive before then at this rate.
No.
And you think, well, hang on, have you missed the boat on that?
No.
When Infinity Ward come out this past year.
You've got the Switch Lions game, that's all you've got, so you've got to pop that in your pipe and smoke it instead.
Ruins it. Not canon. Fucking Wolverine's there. It's not what I know from the MCU. It's been cut out of it. But yeah, that's still not appearing, so fuck knows when that'll be. There's another rumour about a new Alien game called Blackout.
Yeah, I heard that. Someone said, they've people that done the Alien. What was their game? What was the good one?
Isolation.
Isolation. That's the one. Yeah, one of them doing it. Because we had that. What was the one before? Colonial Marines, was it? Someone said there was going to be like a second one to that, but done good.
Did you know that in Colonial Marines there was like a well-known issue with the AI?
Right.
Like, the AI in it was just horrendously bad. And I mean, the rest of the game was pretty appalling anyway.
Yeah.
But one of the key reasons why the AI was so bad and why like the xenomorphs were terrible was because someone like a hacker or whatever you want to call them, or a modder, went into Colonial Marines and found in the code there was a typo.
Really?
In the code for like one of the patrol routes. They corrected it to the correct spelling, and now the xenomorph, like they acted a lot more intelligently.
That's amazing. Poor star. I remember Dan Clark buying that, because he's like a huge fan. He'd done a couple of them. He had bought that, and what's the other one? Duke Nukem Forever, and he was waiting for both of them for so long. And then when they come out, and they were absolute stinkers. Poor bugger. But yeah, I remember that one. But yeah, it was a bigger mission. I heard a few rumours of that, and
Blackout did.
Winter E3 dead.
Well, that's what we're gonna have to get to at some point. The Colonial Marines spelling mistake was the word tether.
Oh really?
That they spell in the code. It's spelled TEA. Sorry, tether. They've spelt wrong essentially. What have they got? Yeah, so spelt it TEATHER. They've put an A in it, and the guy come along and corrected it to tether, which is TETHER. I won't be getting far as an English teacher. And that stripped back and adjusted all that, the patrolling routes and whatnot.
Could have been game of the year for all they know.
Yeah, well, I think there was a few more problems.
Yeah. But that's quite.
But yeah, no Blackout.
No Blackout. I'd have been up for that. You know, I was shit scared to play Isolation. I still would like to, but.
Great game.
Love the franchise.
Great game. Very good game. If you love Alien, then it's a must play.
Yeah.
Pretty long though, so the devastation and scaredness is prolonged. But
yeah, one I want to play, but I would like to see. I'm all for new games and stuff on franchises that I think are worthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bigger mission.
Absolutely. And then I think one for you that you was particularly disappointed not to see, and it's more of the developer, but Rocksteady.
Yeah. There was rumoured. This was going back to E3, I believe. Was it E3? Yeah, there was this rumour of a Superman game was the heaviest one I saw. First, it was a Justice League game, and then it turned into a Superman, just a sole title, Superman. But alas, still nothing. So I wondered if we'd see. We still don't know what they're working on. Obviously,
From my passes.
Since the. I think Arkham Knight did get a bit of a slagging, didn't it, after a while?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
People just didn't like the Batmobile, did they?
No.
The tank bits in it, and annoying, but the core game was still pretty good, and it was quite fun driving around in the Batmobile normally.
Yeah, I think it's still my most played game on Steam.
Crikey. And wasn't it a mess on Steam to start with?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had to play it in 30 FPS. Sam would have killed me for that. I literally did. I was playing it on ultra settings, but I had to put it down to 30 because it was just unplayable otherwise. I think it's since been patched to shit, so it's probably right now. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, they've just gone dark. And God, when was that? That was probably 2015, was it? Maybe.
Yeah, 16? I think they worked. They were actually quite heavily involved with the VR.
Oh, that's right. Arkham something.
Arkham, whatever it was called. Yeah, which is actually quite good. I know Biff cut you short on that. You didn't get to play the full bit, but I'm annoyed that he did that because it's actually quite a good little story involved in that. But
going through about 4 times that day.
Yeah, well, that's his own fault. He didn't have to sit there playing it himself 4 times. He could have just waited. But one day, Adcock's got one, so maybe we'll pile around there and get you on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Rocksteady still in the darkness. Anything else that you'd seen on the rumour mill or was expecting or hoping for and didn't quite get a...
Think of it, obviously the big ones that you want, but you wouldn't expect. Thinking of it now, looking at these price cuts, that Starlink, I'm surprised they didn't announce any sort of DLC or something here.
Yeah.
Seeing as they're chucking it out for 25 quid now. Really trying to push that, they are. Fuckers.
They want them off the shelves, aren't they?
Yeah. Trying to get rid of them. So you'd think they'd try and push some more DLC out at least. But other than that, I can't think of anything that was supposed to come. Can you?
No, not really. I mean, it's always one of those things where expectation is that X will arrive and X doesn't arrive, but Y does. So it kind of balances itself out. The one that did hurt me was the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Yeah, that was a big one.
I really, for some reason, expected that.
Yeah, I thought that could be one.
So that hurt me internally, not seeing that. Did it hurt me internally? It was only when I looked afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So it wasn't like I was waiting for it. There
was rumours, actually. I didn't think this was going to happen, but I did see quite a few rumours circulating on Twitter that there was going to be a Death Stranding release date announcement.
He was not even there at all, was he, in any shape or form? I know he wasn't due there, but I thought there might be like a sneaky trailer.
Yeah.
Kojima turns his back on Keighley.
I was going to say, last year when they done it, cool, they were like bearsies, weren't they? Taking photos of each other, and then they went and visited each other. Yeah. But yeah, none at all. And then even Last of Us came out a couple of days before and sort of said, yeah, we're looking forward to the Game Awards, but just to let you know, we won't be showing anything, so don't get your hopes up. And yeah, Kojima didn't say anything, so you thought, oh, has he got something up his sleeve? But another omission. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting him to do that sort of big reveal. I suppose PlayStation will probably save that for whatever they've got lined up next year.
So, I was watching an Easy A podcast. I can't remember which one it was now. They do quite a few. And they were saying, what if at the Game Awards, Death Stranding's there and it's revealed it's actually a new Metal Gear Solid game, and all along Kojima's been... they faked it all. So
that'd be hilarious.
it could link into the world. I was like, that would be the best thing ever done. But
it would, but what a stinger that would be.
The whole thing with Konami was all made up. It was all like faked.
Oh, imagine that. Even releasing Survive just as a piss take.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
That we could dream.
Yeah.
I'll run through the awards. There's an awful lot of them. So I'll reel through them. If I've got anything to say, I'll say it. And if you've got anything you want to clip in with, then shout. If not, we'll just move on to the next one. So starting, and this is just a list that I've found on a website. Content Creator of the Year, Community Award it's called. That went to Ninja.
Yeah, no surprise there, was it?
Basically that looked like almost like Stream of the Year, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked pretty much all streamers, wasn't it? I think a few odd.
They used to have Trending Gamer, didn't they? Which I think Greggy Boy won.
Yeah, Greggy
I think
won
that's
it.
what it's morphed into that now, I think.
It was Boogie won it last year, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
No, Dr. Disrespect.
Boogie has won it, though,
he has won it, yeah.
Or did he get nominated and not win it?
Unless it was two. Maybe there was Content Creator and Trending Gamer or something.
It might have been, actually, yeah.
But yeah, no, it does look like it's just the one Content Creator now, and yeah, I'm not surprised with the sort of fame that Ninja now has. Someone said his statistics of how many hours he's played on Fortnite, saying it was something like 48,000 hours or something.
Jesus, is it?
There's something, that's I'm paraphrasing there, but it was something along those lines.
Christ.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised with the fame that boy's got this year.
No, and he'd done a little piece of like introducing an award as well, which I thought he'd done quite well with that little Muppet character.
That's right. Yes,
he was all right. I thought, oh god, this is gonna be awkward, but he did all right in that. So, thumbs up for that. Best esports moment. I've got to admit, completely had no idea what was going on. Nothing from the Overwatch League though, so disappointing. But that went to C9's comeback win in triple overtime against FaZe at the E-League Major in Boston 2018. They're doing best esports hosts now, so if you want to get into that career, you can pick up an award. I've got to say, I don't know. I can't pronounce.
Didn't you meet a couple of them before? Well, they
I
assume
don't know. Well, yeah. So Dave knew they were. I didn't know they were, and got a little picture with them, and yeah, that was that. I don't know. I don't think it was any of this lot though.
Nah.
I don't know. It might have been. Dave might correct us on that, but
Yeah.
I didn't notice them. But yeah, the person who won that I can't even pronounce. Their nicknames: SJ, OKZ,
Yeah.
Sajoxy. That's awful. Why couldn't fucking Golden Boy win it? I can pronounce that. Or Machine.
Yeah.
Or Red Eye. No.
No. The other one.
Probably some sort of cultural thing that I've just
Absolute drag through the mud.
I can't do that. That's hard for me. Best esports event that went to League of Legends World Championship. The Overwatch League Grand Finals binned, so that was a disappointment there. Best esports coach. And I was like, right, again,
Really?
just like these hosts, how are we getting our coaches now getting? It's not like fucking Klopp, is it? It's not.
Manager of the month. Cool.
But a chap named Bok Reapard Hangulu won that for Cloud9.
Cool.
So quite a famous team, I think. Best esports team was Cloud9 for League of Legends. Disappointing that London Spitfire didn't win that in the Overwatch League. So I think what really chaps my arse is that the best esports game went to Overwatch. So they said, "Oh, that's the best esports game," but none of the awards that they were nominated for went to anybody within that sector. So
seems weird, doesn't it? Very pushing for the old esports issue, and I know it's a growing realm of gaming, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's got what's that? 5 or 6 categories there. So each year it's getting bigger, and then they had Player of the Year, which was Sonic Fox. I think that's the guy that won Evo, wasn't it?
He won Evo for Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Yeah. I've been following him for a little while actually. He's a really interesting chap. He's openly gay and black, which in this day and age.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
His joke was, he was quite funny when he was doing his speech. He's like, "I'm openly gay and I'm black," and he goes, "That's something like that's 2 things that Republicans stand or something."
Yeah, it was quite funny. He's just so awkward. Like it's hilarious. You sort of see him up on stage, and he's just such a panicker that he just lets it all go. It's really funny to watch him. But watch a couple of his streams. He's a real funny guy, but he's shit hot at Dragon Ball Fighters, and he plays a few other games, fighting games. If you're into that, give him a follow. But interesting character he is.
Absolutely. So that's all the esports awards done. Moving to sort of the more formal stuff. Best debut game. So that's. So I don't really know what the category for that one is, because you've got like best indie game. I think you've got to be an independent game.
Right.
That's your first game, if that makes sense. So the winner of that was The Messenger,
right?
Which I've heard some quite good things in this last few weeks, and I've started getting me sniffing. So might potentially take a look at that.
Switch Boy, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we had Best Student Game.
Yeah.
So that's something that's created at a school or a college level or university level. And Combat 2018 won that. That's from the Inland Norway University of Applied Sciences. In Norway. Best Multiplayer Game. Sir Dave's Forsaken was on here lurking.
Cool.
Capcom's Monster Hunter World took the world by storm early this year.
Yep.
But the unreleased beta of Fortnite has still taken the championship.
Cool.
The query is, people are saying, does that count if it's not even in 1.0?
Not even 1.0. Still.
What's your view? Would you not give a toss about that?
No, it doesn't seem fair. It's like when they review it as well. I think...
7 seasons in now. When are they going to release to say it's done? Come on.
That does seem strange. It's because it's hit all the other bollocks, isn't it? There's nothing else in it. Like, well, I suppose that's all that people play, isn't it? But there is another game in there somewhere. 2 people play a year. But I don't know. I'm on the fence with that, but it does seem strange. But it's huge, isn't it? So you can see why it's winning.
Yeah. If it's going to win one of them, then that's one. Because I think last year they had PUBG up for as a nomination for the Game of the Year.
Oh, that's true. And
I was a bit like, hang on a minute.
Yeah. At least it wasn't in the category for that.
No. Best sports / racing game. So not enough games to fill both categories. So they've been combined. And the FIFA 19 was on there. Mario Tennis Aces, NBA 2K19, PES 2019. I don't know, that's got in there, but Forza Horizon 4 won unsurprisingly, considering the brilliant reviews that's had all year.
Yeah.
So no surprise there. Best strategy game went to Into the Breach.
Oh, yeah, that's
Best
the one that
that's
the one that Chappers has been playing, and I've not.
Yeah, he's been enjoying that. So one to look into if you're into your strategy games. I think Frostpunk was another one that I'd been looking at.
Oh right.
That was nominated, but didn't get around to getting in. It's on Steam Store actually, on offer at the moment, so maybe one day. Best family game, Overcooked 2.
There was something I wanted to win on there. It might have been Starlink. Yeah, I was thinking, come on, get an award. But no, I've heard good things about that Overcooked, to be fair.
Strange, like Mario Tennis Aces was on there.
Was Pokemon on there?
Nintendo Labo. No, it wasn't. I don't know, and this is one of the things we might have to come on to, is because it might have been too late in the game.
Yeah, that's true, yeah, because I suppose Smash won in the fighting one, was it? So, yeah, too late.
So that's, if Smash is getting cut, then what's going on?
Yeah.
It was interesting, because out of the 5 nominations that were there, 3 of them were Nintendo exclusives.
Oh yeah, Labo.
And then Overcooked snuck it.
Cool.
Reggie fuming.
He was, he's going, fuck's sake, mate.
Reggie fuming.
Family. And he goes home and fucking whacks gory Mortal Kombat 11 on the fucking platform.
Yeah, putting that on there for the kids. Sort your priorities out, Reg. Or if that, it was on Switch, but it was green blood.
Oh, imagine that.
Annoyed.
Because some of them used to have like censored things that you could turn.
Yeah.
But that's just gone completely, so you ain't got no blood. Well, swearing changes to blimmin'. Bloomin' hell.
No, Reggie, don't. Best fighting game went to Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah. What was the lineup? Read me them lineups.
What was in the nominees?
Yeah.
Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Not really heard of it. Cross Tag Battle. Soul Calibur 6. And then Capcom trying to sneak back in with Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition.
Oh, how is Tekken 7 not made the cut over Blaze Blue? That is criminal.
What's criminal is there's actually only 4 nominees there, not 5.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the other categories, so I don't know. Yeah.
Cool.
Good question.
Harada's done something to Geoff Keighley's wife.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That was this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really early. February, I think it was.
Oh, what? Yeah, in Street Fighter 5, let's be honest, that's already been out fucking 3 years.
Or was it last year? I fucking can't. These years just... Hold on.
I think it was this year because I remember you getting it and playing it.
Oh no, it was last year.
It was last year. Blowers
June, so it's probably last year's one, wasn't it? Still didn't win. Fuck it. It's because they fucking fighting games. They release. It's now on its 2nd season pass. This is what's pissing me off. With all these it really aggravates me. I mean, even
the season passes.
Yeah, well, like. I bought Tekken 7 and they said, we've got a fight pass. Yeah, right, okay, there's these characters. I won't buy that. Then about 2 months after they announced a fucking Ultimate Edition where it's got it all included. And I think, right, okay, maybe I'll buy that then and then I ain't got to buy a season pass. They've just announced a 2nd season pass for season 2 characters. I'm like, for fuck's sake. This is ridiculous.
Got to make that money.
Isn't it? So I'm like, right. So I'm wondering what to do with old MK11 now. I might just fucking wait.
I mean, yeah, it's not a bad idea, is it?
I think it's probably the way it's going. Otherwise, you're spending out double the game on these fucking season passes.
There'll be pressure from members of the library wanting it, but
that's right.
There'll be deals being posted like this Shadow of the Tomb Raider ones that were being posted over Black Friday.
Yeah.
That was trying to get that installed, but it didn't wash. So,
no.
But yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for like fighting games if they're going to keep fucking about with things like that. You can't just want. I understand like a Game of the Year edition package, but when like you're right, they're all moving towards like seasons. Even like Street Fighter 5.
Well, this is the thing that annoyed me. He came out, the geezer that done that. I forget his name, and he even said that what they promised they weren't going to do. What they've previously done with their super editions and arcade editions. And fucking 6 months down the line, we've got an arcade edition coming out. So it's a fucking racist. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it's definitely becoming the norm now, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But then Smash comes out, and I'm like, maybe I might buy that fighter pass because it sucks you in. But
It's a hard one, isn't it? Because you want to play the game at some point, but they keep, especially like characters that you like, if they're withheld
yeah, exactly.
initially.
Especially
Because wasn't like MK10 didn't have what's that fucker's name? Is it Goro? Or
yeah, Goro. He was a
when he
DLC.
pre-order
That's
only,
right. Pre-order one. And
Predator,
Predator, and yeah, some good
afterwards.
ones had Xenomorph, Predator, and
Yeah.
Leatherface from Thing. But with Street Fighter, you had Sagat and Guile, who are main characters. Blanca cut, and you have to pay.
Blanca was cut.
Yeah, Blanca was cut. He went
right.
Season,
even I know Blanca.
Season 2, I think he didn't cut, or season 3, one of them.
Fucking Alan doing up
there. I know.
There.
And then you've got fucking Tekken that are releasing Negan as one of their characters. It does actually look really good. It's quite good.
I've not seen it.
Have a look at the trailer. The stage is, where he does all the fucking knocking over the head, all the cars and that. Nice. It does look quite fun, but what a weird, fully voiced by that, whatever his name is.
Jeffrey D. Morgan.
Yeah, it does the voice of that. It's interesting, but what a fucking weird Tekken character.
Might have to get Tekken just for that.
Yeah. You got him, then you got Noctis from fucking Final Fantasy 15.
And he's in there, loving life.
Yeah.
That no one asked for.
Some old Tekken characters, but...
Yeah. If you're going to do it, get the main roster in, not the old favourites. Get them in as standard, like what Smash has done. And then if you want to add people like fucking Joker to it, then be my guest. Doesn't mean we've got to all go out and buy it. But
and it's all working out about fucking a $5 a character at the minute. I think if you look at these games, which I don't know, I like characters, but I don't know if I want to pay a $5 for every single one.
I mean, Smash seems like the characters they come with a stage and also their own music.
Well, that's right, yeah.
Which is quite cool. I don't know what it's like in the other ones, whether you get all that stuff.
No, it's just, especially like Injustice, you had, I think the only deal you had with Injustice was you got the Ninja Turtles, you paid a $5 and you got them all. So that felt like a win, but all these games, Soul Calibur, all you're getting is the one character, no stage or anything, so that's where Nintendo are doing things right, I think.
Interesting. And that's all spun off from
we have digressed quite largely there.
No, it was good. I like those sort of digressions. If they're not interested, they'll fast forward or turn it off. Best role-playing game went to what perhaps might be, when we do our own awards at some point, the one that got away, Monster Hunter World. I'm still cut up about not playing that.
Yeah, see, it's been hitting the bargain bins recently for Team Pen.
Salmon's got it on that Steam as well, so I've got it downloaded off that. But then we've both got it via Salmon, which means we wouldn't be able to play together.
No, definitely one that we want together, I think. But yeah, I've heard good things about that. That was very early on in the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Best action adventure game. So in this one you had Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. God of War was also nominated and won it. So got no problem with that there at all. Best action game. This is a bit of a strange one because you could argue some of these other games we've just had could have fitted into this category, but whatever. We had Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Far Cry 5, Mega Man 11, and Dead Cells, which ended up winning it. So good for Dead Cells. Pleased to see that win, but I don't. Those two categories together seem a little bit weird, don't you think?
Yeah, it
does.
Best
action game, best action adventure.
That is strange, very strange. I think they promised. I think Geoff promised someone an award, Dead Cells, after their review was plagiarised by that RGM boy. They wanted to get him back. So yeah, it's a strange one that is, but I am quite glad to see Dead Cells. That's one I definitely want to pick up, and one I wouldn't have thought would have won with the heavy hitters like Far Cry 5. And how's Spider-Man not making that cut?
Well, that's in the action adventure one.
Right.
So you tell me the difference between, I don't know, Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Far Cry 5.
Yeah. But
they're in different categories. Someone needs to explain that to me, and I'm sure on the website it explains it all.
Yeah.
but that one in particular, I was a bit like, why have we got? To me, it sounds like because it's such a populated area, they kind of didn't want to just nominate 5 only,
right? Yep.
And kind of go, okay, we'll give 2 awards out, and then we can get 10 games nominated and give away 2 awards.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon you're right. To be honest, yeah, it is probably the largest genre, wouldn't you say, out of all of them? Maybe.
It's probably, yeah. I mean, a lot of the games would fall into that category, depending on how you want to do it. So, yeah, I could see that. There's no dedicated RPG section now. So
No, that's true.
that is another way of doing it, I guess, and you get a few more. But it's a bit too close, maybe, for my liking. But I'm just on the website now, going through the award categories, and I'm just going to read out. So here we go. Best action game.
Yep.
For the best game in the action genre focused on combat.
All right. Oh.
Okay.
Fucking God of War, mate.
Best action adventure game. Oh yeah. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
How's Hellblade ain't got in? The last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, I can.
Yeah, I suppose when you
combat only. But like you said, how's God of War not got in that combat?
And that's got everything in that combat focus. You've got fucking the excellent combat. Puzzles, there's some in there. So, if you sniff.
Weird. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
If you're going to focus on just the combat side of things, fine. But let's be honest, God of War should have been in that one as well. But I suppose they couldn't have given it everything. Best VR or AR game went to Astrobot Rescue Mission. So that's got quite a lot of praise. VR's had a decent little run this year, I feel like.
Yeah.
You've had Astrobot getting some good reviews. Moss.
Yeah, that was another one. Was that a PlayStation exclusive or was?
Yeah.
And then it came out.
Yeah, it was to start with.
And it's quite funny
how
it's all kicked off since Biff sold it.
Yeah.
Second he sold it.
Since you sold yours, Biff, it's all fucking blown up with content. And Adcock has bought one, so he's in the golden age of PlayStation VR at the moment.
Did he get one when it was cheap? Black Friday deal.
Black Friday jobby.
That was a decent deal.
Yeah, go around there and play Astrobot. Poor old Biff throws it in the bin, chucks his life away as usual. Best mobile game, Florence. Surprised something like Fortnite.
I was going to say they were in there, weren't they? And there must be fucking hundreds of them that play that.
Yeah.
People like these addicts that can't have to go to work or school or something, then they think, fuck it, I'll play on the bus. But
Best independent game, Celeste.
Ooh.
So another one that was, I think it was nominated for the big game of the year.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it's one I want to get.
Up. Yeah, same here. Definitely on the list, on the watch list. I don't know what that Nintendo eShop watch list is for. It doesn't tell you when something goes on sale.
No,
so
it's
I'm beginning to
annoying,
wonder what it's offering.
But
it also picked up the Games for Impact Award, which is
the sort of developer. There's fucking hundreds of them all standing on the stage. They look like a fucking indie band, all of them. But it gave a nice little message for the old mental health people. Those
which we know you love.
The old mental healthers. Tyson and the gang.
Best performance. Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 takes the championship.
Bit annoyed though, he didn't do the voice.
No, he didn't do the voice, did he?
And one of the best bits about this Game Awards,
called E3, he's already converted.
Already done it. The Kratos voice actor saying, "Boy, that was fucking brilliant." So
read it, boy.
That was brilliant. But fucking old Arthur Morgan, no, you don't fucking have to pay for that.
Rockstar said, if you do that voice, we'll fucking take away your royalties. And he went, bloody hell.
But
It's not. So I've played, other than Assassin's Creed, which was
was he
Bright Chant. He was
Who was in
the
it?
Connor Connor out of Detroit.
Oh yeah, who was the Assassin's Creed one?
It was the female Cassandra.
Right, not racist, sexist.
Yeah, so she was the one there. But having played Spider-Man, God of War, and Red Dead,
Yep.
I think Arthur Morgan was.
Opposite.
Yeah, he's very good in that.
Yeah.
Best audio design, that also went to Red Dead Redemption 2. Presented by Dolby, little plug for them. Best score / music was Red Dead Redemption 2 also.
Other one.
Took some beating. Best art direction.
Ooh, artsy.
Return of the Obra Dinn.
B?
Yellow. I must admit, I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I'd not heard of it before that happened. But that's sometimes one of the cool things about the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Is that you kind of then, and it wasn't until I'd gone back and looked at it that I actually had seen it, and it's like a black and white sketch drawing.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't really know what the gameplay's like, but having seen some screenshots and whatnot, it is unique.
Yeah.
And I think with art direction, it's not necessarily what the best graphics
No,
are.
that's
Looking
right.
For, like the best art direction is something that can be quite simple but executed really well.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a real kick in the balls if you're God of War or Red Dead with the amount of detail you put in. They go, nope.
That's very
You
true.
can beat it by sketch drawing.
I've got a feeling last year the same thing happened with us, and it was wasn't it Edith Finch got this award last year, and we were sort of like, what's this game? And then obviously it blew up once it won the award.
Yeah, and that's what might happen here. So happy to see that. Best narrative went to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Sure.
So at that point, I'm thinking, Christ. Well, actually, I'm not thinking that because I've already been fucking spoiled who Game of the Year is because those dickheads put the fucking video underneath it, you thick cunts. But I was seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 pick up quite a lot of awards, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
But the giveaway for me for Game of the Year typically is the best game direction. Whoever gets that usually, sneaks Game of the Year. God of War got best game direction.
Yep. I think a lot of it was that fucking non-stop camera malarkey.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So good for that.
If ever there was an argument to say that, the direction of God of War was unique and good, but perhaps there was still a strong challenger like Red Dead for Game of the Year. It's that because it was done in such a way, and like you said, the no cutaways of God of War is like a masterpiece for direction. It just so happens the game's fucking quality as well.
Really.
I think generally, I think that's definitely the right call there.
Yep.
Best ongoing game went to Fortnite, unsurprisingly, and then Game of the Year went to, as I predicted, God of War.
Oh really? I thought it was going to go to Red Dead.
I didn't think it would do because of all that negative press that come out about the hours that they work and Rockstar in general. I don't know. I think because you think who votes on this? I think it's like 60 outlets and some fan votes.
I was going to say you could register. I was going to do it the other day, try and register on the Game Awards website, but it seemed like a lot of hassle, so I binned it.
But I really believe God of War.
Right,
because I felt like I think it's the wrong choice at all. I think those two were a league above whatever else was nominated in terms of like Monster Hunter, even Spider-Man, Celeste, and Creed. And there's no wrong. If one of those win it, there's no wrong.
No.
I would not feel annoyed by either of them. I can make cases for both of them,
Yeah.
and I could wake up the next day and say it's Red Dead, and then have a wank, and then go, actually, it's God of War. It's as simple as that, and as easy as that for it to change. You dirty bastard in the bath. So yeah, God of the War takes away the big winner for the Game Awards 2018.
Yeah.
Overall, there's a fucking shitload of awards nowadays. What did you think of, I guess, the winners and some of the nominees? Good, bad, or indifferent?
I kind of felt with this one that the sort of awards took a backseat. I don't know what it was in terms of sort of content. Was it 50-50 announcements and games and 50... There was a lot of orchestral performances in this one.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
had,
which is quite
yeah,
cool.
quite cool. Remember last year they did the Doom soundtrack, didn't they? They did the Devil May Cry one this year.
Yeah,
Was interesting, and they had a lot of the cool, yeah, the orchestra for they'd made their own theme, Game Awards theme that sounded very cool.
yes,
Had like Hans Zimmer and Harry
yeah,
Gregson
yeah.
Williams or whatever his name is. Um, so yeah, no, it was interesting. There were some good moments. I liked how they started it off by having the three studio heads all talking together on stage at once.
Yeah, so Sean Layden, Reggie, and Big Phil
Mm,
all on stage at once, and they obviously had like a pre-canned thing to read. But
yeah,
that was a nice moment, wasn't it? Seeing the three big like
yeah. So,
platform holders and on stage
well,
together.
that's it. You've always got
Um,
these toxic fucks on the comments and that, so always turning it into a console war. So, was nice to
yeah.
see. When I see them all up there, I thought, oh, they're going to announce fucking like crossplay or something. And I was like, here we
Yeah,
go.
to be honest, I thought that. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, this is it. Everything's crossplay, and then Gabe comes out of like the and like, yes, it's PC as well.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it did have some good moments. One of the weird things I felt was that some of the smaller, like awards potentially, like a lot of the esports ones, like Geoff was just on this like side stage where he'd sometimes have one or two people up and give away awards and have people up there quickly. But some of them he would have like four in a row that he would just read and be like, right,
Yeah.
nominees are this, the winner's this, next one, the nominee, and it's just
Cut
like,
'em out.
that felt really like poor. Like I think they should just cut to like a video
Yeah.
with the nominations, like and then do like a little screen that goes and the winner is this.
Yeah.
And do it that way, rather than have Geoff just sort of read out four in a row. It kind of cheapened them
Yeah.
a little bit. And I know they weren't the most interesting awards, those ones,
No.
typically, but still,
No, I know what you mean.
if I'd got one of them and I was just like sort of offhandedly mentioned in between a fucking advert for stopping vaping, I'd be like, oh, hang on a minute. I
Yeah.
just wanna... What was that all
Yeah, that
about?
was
There's
true.
some
That
weird
got some
commercials.
backlash apparently as well. Some
Oh, what, the
problems.
vape stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah, for those that didn't watch it, there was several videos basically saying if you vape, you're more likely to start smoking and don't vape and try and like get rid of it. But it just felt really out of place. I don't know why.
yeah, it's peculiar
Yeah,
that the sort of thing that they did that.
Other things to be stopping people doing than that vaping. I'll tell you that. Focus on that, and then we'll worry about the vaping
Yeah.
side of things. So yeah, it's a strange little show. It's long, like we said.
Yeah, it was quite long,
So-
and I suppose because of the rumours and stuff, with the announcements and stuff, it's nice that we're getting these late announcements and stuff, but it was sort of, I felt like it was missing that real big wow one, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe because when you think of it, probably that Obsidian. I suppose people will probably say the Persona 5 character is probably the biggest, MK11 maybe, but I don't know. It seemed like it needed like another, like something like Cyberpunk or something huge,
Yeah.
just to sort of to end it. They didn't, like a real last minute. I suppose that's because what we get now normally, but.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because and this is a question I was going to ask you, is that we've got all these awards, and yeah, it creates a little bit of interest, gives us something to talk about on a Friday night. But are these awards relevant?
Yeah.
In terms of, do you personally put much credence in them, or are you more interested in something like DICE or GDC, where the votes are calculated from people within the industry, like the developers?
Yeah.
Publishers and things like that, or does something like this that gets fan votes as well as the media, do you weight that a little bit more highly?
Yeah, I do like when it has fan votes. I mean, I respect the opinions of the creators as well, because they have more of an insight than the scum players like myself. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to have a big impact on me. I don't think I'd. Then saying that, there probably would be some games that I didn't know that I might buy because they've won an award.
Yes.
So something like Celeste, That was on the radar when I saw the
On
review.
radars, but now you think...
Now I think, well, that's winning awards now. It's an impact game and it's winning best indie game or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, saying that, I was going to say that, yeah, I don't go out and buy games because of that, but now I do. So, so yeah, I suppose it does
Geoff's
happen.
done
Yeah,
it.
Jeff has done it. But yeah, I do quite look forward to the event and stuff. I quite like having it. It's a bit like an Oscars, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing though, because I like the event itself. The awards themselves, I think this is a decent mix, like fan votes and also well-established outlets.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a place for that in the gaming world. But if you compare it to something like the Oscars, that's all peer voted, isn't it? So that's people within the industry.
Yeah.
So if you want to look at what's going on, the gaming equivalent, it is like a GDC or a DICE.
Yeah.
That'll give you those. Whereas this is more like, oh, what was the media and the fans' top votes?
Yeah.
But this is the one with the best presentation.
Yeah.
And this is the one where they get far more views and more coverage. Because it's the best presented.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So I think there's a place for it. I always will put credence more in a GDC or a DICE than this, but still, over time, I kind of think, yeah, I mean, there are fans voting, and the outlets that they pick are. It's good to get a view like that of what's going on in that world. Ultimately, though, if it come down to it, and they said the GDC they voted for Red Dead Redemption 2, I'd be like, yeah, that's the developers saying at last. I'll take that. I'll take their word for it. But this is certainly a good thing to have. And I think it's not like it's got to be instead of. It can be as well as. It's just a different view of it, isn't it? Like a different set of scopes put on it. And it's interesting to see what the media are thinking and what fans are as well.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be interesting to see. Like you say, I can't believe it's been 5 years already. And it's turning into like it just looks like a sort of fully fledged thing now. You know how professional it's done now, and it seems to be getting bigger and bigger every year. I see Geoff tweeting saying this is the biggest numbers ever. So it'd be interesting to see what they do next year.
I know. I don't know how they can keep topping it. I mean, they're sure they can't make it any longer.
Or another 5 hour. Just be an all day event. Just
that would be an absolute stinker.
Every single award.
My main criticism of the Game Awards, and this has always been there since day one, 5 years ago, is that it takes place early December, and we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is released today as we record this, sliding into a very high score. At the moment, it's on OpenCritic at 93. It's top sort of 10, that is, for the year's games in terms of reviews, and yet because it's released in December, it can't make the cut for the 2018 Game of the Year awards. That for me is the biggest oversight of the lot, and it gets up my nose that a game like that is going to have to wait till next year, and in all honesty, it's going to be forgotten about, you'd probably think. It's the third best rated game according to OpenCritic. Now you can say what you want, how good but that's a good indication, isn't it? Because if you think about the games that have been nominated and that have won Game of the Year, it was between the two top ones that were rated by the media. So
I'm definitely with you on that. That it does seem stupid. Like the Oscars, that's normally in sort of February, isn't it? Because it's the year is done and dusted. So come on, sort it out. Why has it got to be in December?
Commercial reasons, isn't it? And that's the signature of it all.
I suppose probably a lot of game companies as well, right before the holiday season. Getting them fucking paydays. Getting them bills spent.
That's the one thing, especially this year. I think Smash. I was surprised at how high the scores have been for Smash, and it's completely just not going to be part of this award ceremony.
Could get next year's
best fighting game. That's I mean, the thing is, what they say is, it'll be nominated for next year's one. It's like that's fine, but there's something to be said about catching a game in the year that it's been out.
That's right,
and like it being in the forefront of people's minds. Like when the nominations come in, are people going to really seriously go, like, what if whatever come out next year was not as good as Smash Brothers? Would Smash Brothers really get the 2019 Game of the Year award?
That's right.
It wouldn't, would it?
No, you're right.
And
no, I think that is something they need to consider, but I don't think it's going to happen, is it? Because it just ain't, is it? Dollar.
It's all dollar, and that's the one thing
Yeah.
that really for me dents the awards themselves, is that there are certain games that are cut from it from the year because they're released later on in the year. I
Yeah.
think that's
That's poor, isn't it?
stupid. That's why I've always looked at it as, okay,
Yeah.
it's a press conference, it's a reveal event, it's an event to see new games basically, rather than it's an awards ceremony.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is where we sort of come full circle and say it was the winter E3.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely more this year felt that the sort of awards themselves took a backseat, and it is becoming more of just a reveal event. So yeah, we need that GDC still. We need them DICE awards.
Yeah, I think so, because Smash will be considered in that, and rightly so. And even like I'm a big fan of Easy Allies. Been watching them since the Game Traders days.
Yeah.
They've even moved their Game of the Year awards, their own ones, into like the second week of January,
Right.
so that it gives them a chance to play through stuff that's released in December and other games, and gives them just an extra couple of weeks, rather, because the time to do it is like this time everyone starts having those discussions. But how can you have a really informed discussion about Smash when it's been out less than 12 hours?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
So it's good to some areas take the hit and go, right, we'll do it in January when perhaps it's not the hot topic. But for our own integrity, we'll do it in January. But this will probably not happen for the Game Awards. And all he's got to really do is say this is for the Game Awards 2017 to 2018.
Yeah.
Like a season.
Yeah.
Not snappy though, is
No,
it?
it's fucking
Not gonna happen. Does Geoff hold the reign of this being the winter E3?
not because tomorrow.
He's been sacked.
Because tomorrow is a better event.
Potentially, yeah. We're unlikely to cover the kind of funny. What's it called? It's just called the kind of funny press
Showcase, I
conference.
think it's called.
Showcase.
Yeah, it's the first ever time. I think this was off the back of the E3 thing. I think it was that.
Well, I heard it is because the what's the name?
PSX?
Because PlayStation Experience.
Oh, it might have been that.
This
Yeah,
year.
because they're a very
They said, we're gonna do
PlayStation
something.
heavy channel. But yeah, apparently they've got 60 plus games to announce tomorrow, and one of them has been confirmed as a new Conan game. So, all you Conan fans. So I'm not giving Geoff the E3 until I've seen what's coming tomorrow. But
We'll have a look. I mean, if we'll see how the kind of funny conference goes, and maybe we'll be back next week with some stuff on
it's
that.
got
but
fucking. Imagine if the Alien game comes up in that and fucking Metroid.
you know what? That's Metroid.
Cool. How livid would that be?
If that happens, then next time they do it, we'll definitely cover it.
Well, that what's his name? Greg. He's a huge Superman fan, so that NetherRealm thing.
Rocksteady.
I mean, he's been tweeting that all year about getting that new NetherRealm fucking Rocksteady game. He's been tweeting that non-stop. So I could see, because he's quite a big influence in the gaming industry, I could see them possibly lending their announcement to him.
Geoff will be fuming.
Exactly, yeah, it could very well be. It's a big one to have, especially the day after. I don't know, I bet he is livid about that, but I think they're on good terms. See him tweeting each other the other night. He was invited there, so we'll see. But yeah,
I'll watch it. I'm definitely going to watch it, and should something come out of it, maybe we'll be back.
We might be back, but yeah, probably for the time being, Geoff will get his winter E3, especially as E3 next year might not feel like a real E3 with a big open.
Sony walked away from it.
It's going to be weird. I wonder.
What are they doing?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It just seems weird. That, who's going to fill that gap? Do you think Ubisoft will step up, or EA?
I don't know. EA tried to get away from it a few times as well, haven't they? Xbox, they only have a mixer stand in the convention centre and do everything outside.
Right.
But the difference is Sony aren't doing anything, as far as I understand. Not even a press conference.
So you had the press conference, the one that was each day, wasn't it? Wasn't it like the Xbox was on the Friday and then
Well, at least you won't have to scrape yourself up at 1 o'clock in the morning and be disappointed when they do 15-minute intervals.
Fucking hell, yeah. I'm quite glad they fucking binned it straight after that. But that's the thing. I mean, they were flying high, and then that just brought fucking shit ton down on them. So they've obviously just
Maybe they thought, fuck it. It was like,
Yeah,
you cunts moaned about that.
exactly.
I'm not doing that
Well, we
again.
don't need this. We're fucking selling systems 2-1 to Xbox. You fucking slag us off when we get creative, so fuck your fucking ass. But we'll see. So, yep, Geoff can have his E3 until tomorrow.
Yeah, he's winter E3 until. Well, yeah, if kind of funny pull it out of the bag, then Geoff, you'll be superseded.
The allies want to get sniffing at this.
I'll be surprised if one of them's not there. Like Brandon might turn up. He's turned up on a few of their live things. So yeah, I just hope it's not 3 hours.
No, well, there's 60 games. God, I didn't expect it to be that much. I'm sure a lot of them will just be these little indie boys. But he claims he's got a couple of sniffers.
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunity. There's all those rumoured stuff. Some of it could have been pushed to here.
Yeah,
but
I could see probably not the Alien one. That seems too big. And Metroid, but something like a Yakuza or something. Something that's quite substantial, but maybe we'll see.
We'll see. We'll keep your eyes peeled and ears peeled in case we're back. But let's close the Game Awards 2018 down. Many game reveals and information, and God of War takes home the top spot. We will be back. So if there's no kind of funny, newsworthy news, then next week you're most likely going to get and this is one for you to not listen to, Adkins, the Red Dead Redemption 2 spoiler cast. So that's full blown. Biff makes his long-awaited return for that.
Cool,
So,
Logan stung out.
Logan.
Double.
He was. Yeah, he was. It's as simple as that. Basically, me and Biff had finished quite a way before everyone else, and then we planned in the session, and Logan finished like the day before, and I thought, is it worth getting him in? I mean, we waffle for over an hour on it, so it's pretty comprehensive. But don't listen to that if you haven't finished the game.
Gonna get it in straight away.
Yeah, so that'll probably be next week's one, and then after that, I'm looking to try and get some sort of Smash impressions from someone, and also Pokemon Let's Go. Logan wants to talk about, so that'll be coming towards Christmas time, and then we'll probably have a little break and come back for Game of the Year and the Fantasy Gaming League results, and new season will kick off in January. So we will have a little gap, though, I'd imagine, between Christmas and the New Year, probably from the week commencing the 24th onwards. But we'll see. If I've got stuff to publish, I'll just set it on auto post and it'll go up.
That quiz been binned?
Well, yeah, the big quiz is again another. I mean, it's all possible.
I suppose just getting everyone.
The only reason you want to do it is to retain.
I was going to say, I've done it twice in a year, haven't I? Fucking heck.
2 times. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what. After this, I'll put out a feel and see if anyone wants to do the quiz. We'll get it booked in and we'll get that out to people. Yeah. Big Fat Gaming Quiz of 2018. This year, I haven't been doing the questions as I've gone along for the whole year. So I'll find.
Get them archives.
I'll get the archives out. We'll sort it, but that could potentially be coming as well. But Fantasy Gaming League's pretty much done. We've got about a week to go because Smash has just come out, and that's one of the final games on one of the individual lists. But the team results are in, and the individual results will be published soon and put up as an audio podcast, and then we will reveal who the captains will be for the next year, and obviously relegate one of the captains to go down to the individual championship. But lots going on. Hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube or if you're on any podcasting app. If you're not on a podcasting app, I suggest you download Player FM and subscribe to us via that, because it has pretty much any podcast you want. It's free and decent user interface. You can download stuff, do all sorts of good stuff on there. So find us, subscribe to us. Head over to Twitch as well, because we'll be doing some streaming. And you can subscribe to the channel via Twitch Prime or £10.99, £14.99, or even I think £25.99. So have a look there if you want to chuck us some money. But that's it, Mr. Adkins. Thank you for joining us. We've done nearly 2 hours, which is 2/3 of the Game Awards. Some people are saying that's crazy. I'll say, yeah, probably right. But cheers for joining us.
Cheers, mate.
Not a problem. Everyone else, thanks for your time, and ta-da.